is it Royal Block Fu or is it like Royal Block FU? I want to make sure I get that correct too.
No, it's Royal BlockFu, but you can say Royal Block FU if you want to. It's quite funny. Most American and European they say Royal Block FU, but like in Asia and Australia they would say Royal Block Fu.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like at least for Americans, we would see foo in that sense as like FOO, and we're pretty like big on the F word in the US, at least amongst certain age demographics. So probably just our minds go into a bad place. But uh, all of that aside, super happy to be here with you in office hours. Just to let you know my role, I'm kind of just facilitating the conversation here. So I'm going to be asking you questions about Royal Block Foo, mainly just going to be giving you a soapbox to do your thing, tell us all about Royal BlockFu. And this is all going to be recorded, so lots of our members will check this out later, get some useful information. For the audience and for your own benefit, Ken, we have two chat channels open here in Office Hours. We have Office Hours Chat, where people will just be talking about any commentary they might have on our conversation. And then in guest questions, people will be posting questions that they have for you directly. I'll mainly just be fielding those to you, but if you have any desire to read them firsthand, feel free to pop over. You'll get notifications for either. And yeah, with that being said, I know you guys say that you're going to be leveraging Web3 for short term leasing. Very curious to hear all about that in Royal Block Foo. So, with that brief intro, the floor is yours. Tell us everything.
Yeah, so a bit about myself. Yeah, my name is Ken, and I'm the founder of Royal BlockFu. We are a VC-backed project. We have specifically raised 4.2 million in assets, being 200K cash and $4 million worth of properties. To be exact, it's actually 21 properties owned by BlockFu, uh, 10 apartments, 10 office spaces, and one mansion. As we speak, we're actually trying to do a deal with another a property, another bigger mansion, a nicer one actually, uh, for holders to use. But in terms of the high level note, in terms of what Royal Block Food is, at the end of the day, is we'll try and bridge Web 2 and Web 3 together where um, there's a lot of big Web 2 companies and so forth, or Web 2 individuals that have a lot of money in from their Web 2 careers. They're trying to enter in Web 3. And at the same time, vice versa, there's a lot of Web 3 people, like big projects or big individuals that made a killing. They're trying to transition into Web 2, and it's very, very hard for them. So we want to be the middle ground in helping both parties have a smoother transition. Um, for example, so far in BlockFu, we have hosted many in real life events. You can see our Twitter. Recently, we hosted with a in real life event, I think 3, 4 weeks ago, and around 150 people came. We gave out like 350 drinks worth of alcohol, 100 packs worth of food, basically for every communities. I'm talking about like Project Gajira, Avium, Arcana. What else is there? I can't even remember. Kaiju Kings, and so forth. So it was open for any other projects in Asia to join us, to party with us. And give you example, one of my Web2 friend, he's a lawyer. I help him connect him with a Web3 NFT project, and he told me he's made a lot of money in terms of giving lawyer service to an NFT project, and now he's giving me 2 Ethereum to mint my project, which we're minting soon on the 21st February. So this is one of those things where I'm trying to connect individuals or companies to X, Y, and Z to make money for both parties, or both um basically try and create value for both parties. But on a high level, what is BlockFu? We're trying to focus in real estate, where I mentioned with 21 in real life properties. We're trying to be like Airbnb, where we're trying to give holders to use our properties. You can host your events, you can host your weddings, you can, I don't know, in terms of imagination, you can do whatever you want. You can host parties and so forth also in our properties. Um, as a member, as an owner of our NFT, you get 25 to 40% in discount in terms of uh to use our properties, where a non-holder would have to pay the full price, so no discounts. Obviously, we did like a collaboration with Azuki Australia, the founders. I obviously let the founders use the properties for free. So depending who you are as a member, you could even use the properties for free. And I'm telling you, like for example, the mansion. Imagine you throwing a party in a mansion and you can use it for free. So that is one of the benefits. I have already been giving it out um to BlockFu members, even though we haven't even launched yet. So that's one of the real estate component of our utility, where it's a hard asset. So at the end of the day, we're asset back, and we're getting a Web2 income, traditional income, where we're renting out to our holders to use. So we're not really focusing on royalties because royalties are dead. So we're trying to, from the very beginning, from the get-go, trying to find traditional Web2 income, and we thought real estate is the best option. I'll stop on the first. Do you have any questions so far, Ross, on like the first utility, real estate?
Oh yeah, no, definitely have lots of questions for you. I guess could you start by giving some background about your team? How did you guys afford to buy all of these properties in the first place? And then from there, I'll ask you some questions about pricing structure. But I really am so curious, like, where did you guys afford to buy, 20 plus properties off the bat?
Good question. So, uh, I'll be honest with you. No one would ever give 4.2 million assets to a nobody. So I guess my team, specifically, I would say me in the Web2 scene, I'm somebody. I used to be a banker and also a property manager in Australia and Asia. So how I got my 4.2 million is from Singapore, a VC slash family office. I know the founders very well. I pitch it to them. I've done deals before BlockFu was formed. I helped them acquire a couple private companies in Asia for many, many multiple six figures. So I have very good relationship with them. They know who I am, and they know what I'm capable of. So that's how I got my assets to acquire the properties and so forth and grow BlockFu. In terms of the team right now, the management team, there's 5 people. There's me, uh, and also we have 2 VC advisors. They just monitoring, make sure the money, the assets do not disappear, and also we don't go in jail from legal point of view. Um, the VC advisors, you'll see our white paper soon next week. Our docs the team, you see our website and so forth. Um, but I'll tell you the names now. My first VC advisor is named Ethan. He has 25 years of wealth management experience. He also started an education tech company before. And then our second VC advisor's name is Hin Yao. He used to be ex-managing director of a public company. It's like worth around 400 million US dollars. It's if is essentially it's like Square and PayPal equivalent, but in Southeast Asia. And we have our marketing guy. His name's Jacob. He's based in Canada. What you see on Twitter, everything marketing NFT asset wise is created by Jacob. And finally, we have Brian. Brian, he's our tech guy, where he focuses on everything website, smart contract. We're doing some stuff with Apple and also with Android. So specifically Apple Pay and Android Pay. So he's helping us with that to integrate in Royal BlockFu. He's also founder of his own Web2 company, tech businesses, trying to raise 3 million Aussie dollars for 2023. So basically, our Web2, our team is basically all from Web 2.
Wow, definitely appreciate it, and thank you for the transparency and looking forward to seeing the white papers with, I guess, more detailed background about the team. So with that background in place, you have $4.2 million worth of assets and properties, as you said. A question to you about who you expect to sort of be your target user base for this. And obviously, I have some questions to you about supply and sort of logistics, but just taking it one step at a time, can you tell me about these properties? I guess where are they primarily located? And are you trying to advertise this globally, countrywide? Is it going to be specific to Australia and parts of Asia? What's sort of your vision there with how people are going to access your properties?
So that's only just one of the value we're providing. The properties. It's based in Asia and Australia. Um, but I think for I understand where you're coming from. Like people from you guys from the States, you might not be interested. That's why we have another utility component, the Launchpad, where we're investing our holders Web 2 and Web 3 business ideas. So, to answer your question, the properties are based in Asia and Australia. In terms of who we're advertising it to willing buyers and basically I would say this is even like for people from the America, people from the Europe that would never use our properties. This is something that you should look into because uh we are generating real rental income and we're trying to find a way like to legalize to distribute dividends of rents to our holders every fortnightly, every month. Um, but there's a lot of legal problems with it right now, speaking to our lawyers.
Gotcha. Could you elaborate a little bit when you said people are going to be buying, I guess, the NFT for the launch pad? Could you tell me a little bit about what the launch pad is?
Yeah, so essentially, we have quite a bit of money and also connections in terms of VC companies, family offices, private equity probably won't want to do this because it's too small. Um, where they want to invest, they want to have skin in the game in the Web3. So in BlockFu, you own our NFT and you got a business idea, a Web3 business idea, like you want to launch a project, you want to launch a NFT agency. Uh, we can help you with that. Basically, we can help you from all the way from funding, all the way to networking for you to talk to the tech people, mm, graphic designer, and so forth. Or let's say you want to start your own Web 2 gen, you want to open a cafe shop in the States or in somewhere in Thailand, for example. Royal Block Food is something that you should look into in terms of um, our launch pad, where we will invest in you in terms of money, time, network, or so forth.
Gotcha. Are you able to dive into more of those specifics with us? Because at MVHQ with office hours, we definitely like to get into the details. And I feel like those are sort of broader concepts. Can you talk to me about what the actual utility looks like? How does that tie into the token? And then what is the pricing structure, right? Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, wow, that's crazy that you can invest in these kinds of things. Like if I want to open up a cafe and Royal BlockFu wants to help me, that's awesome. But is that for every token holder? What is sort of the, I guess, roadmap or from launch? What kind of utility or access am I going to get?
Yeah, so I think the hardest thing for anyone in the Web 3 scene is to actually raise money from Web 2 traditional places. Most of the time, if you're nobody in the Web 2, they're not even gonna waste your time. They're not gonna even waste the time to have a to jump on a call with you, because frankly, they have a lot of better things to do. So in BlockFu, we have direct connections with a couple of big hitters in the Web2 space in terms of angel investors and so forth. Will connect you and you can pitch your ideas straight away with them. And if they want to invest in you, then happy days for you, for me, and the angel investor. In terms of how it works, let's say the cafe scenario, it's again case by case. You know, sometimes maybe the people we connect you, like let's say for example, Ross, you want to open a cafe restaurant. If the angel investor we connect you with does not like you, Ross, they're not gonna invest in you. But if they like you, they like your vision, they like your dream, they'll invest in you. And like I'll be honest with you, these people, they can throw money like 200K like it's nothing for them. Um, so um, it's case by case scenario. I think, do you understand where I'm coming from? From VC advisors, it's case by case, where essentially we are just the middle person. We're just to facilitate the deal. We're not frankly investing. We might invest in some people, but not majority of people because we don't have enough money to invest in all our holders' business ideas. Only some.
Gotcha. So you're the middleman to some of these angel investors, at least in terms of the launch pad. Can you talk to me about how much of this you have hard planned out as opposed to just these ideas, right? Because to say that you're going to connect someone to angel investors, it seems like a great concept, but is that a guarantee, right? Is every single person who buys your token or the NFT that you're going to be launching, are they guaranteed a right to meet with these people? Are you going to set it up where they have a 30-minute session with the angel investors? Is there some sort of verification process where they have to submit a pitch deck? I'd love to hear more just about like what are the formalities involved with this.
So that's a two layer. First layer is you'll be screened through by Royal BlockFu team, and we'll just have a 30-minute, 50-minute chat with you on terms of your dreams and so forth, and your idea. And if it turns out to be something that is actually genuine, we'll connect you with the person straight away.
And then I guess for this kind of verification, well, I guess could you tell me about the tokenomics and what you sort of have planned for your NFT? I feel like a lot of the conversation will probably be based off of that.
So I'm a simple Web2 business guy. I like to keep things simple. There's no tokenomics. There's no coins related. You own an NFT, you own a membership, you can get everything.
My
Like
apologies.
even the real estate component, I'll be frank with you, it's a membership. So it's like a golf club. There's no tokenomics on a golf club membership.
Yeah,
You
my
get
apologies.
it?
Definitely. I think I misspoke there. By tokenomics, I meant more so just like what is going to be the circulating supply of your NFT, and then do you have a mint price or release?
So supply is 3,333. Mint price is 0.05. Uh, that's whitelist. Public is 0.06.
Gotcha. Okay. And then is there different tiers to the NFTs, or is it going to be all just one membership token?
Okay, funny enough, on mint day itself, we're actually giving 15,000 US dollars worth of cash, like actual legit cash, not freaking bullshit whitelist. Um, so um, whoever mints our NFT project has a ticket to eligible to win that 15K prize pool. In terms of the tiers, there's no tiers. I would say if you are a whale hold, there's the only different tier is you're a member or you're a whale holder. We have received around, I would say, in cash, 30,000 US dollars from my Web2 people. They given me via bank account to mint for them on their behalf. So those people are the whale holders. So even though we haven't even launched our mint yet, we already have 30K basically locked in. Um, and they would have the whale category because they'll own more than 10 NFTs. They probably own, I don't know how many. On the mint day itself, we'll see how it goes.
Appreciate the clarification there. So, can you tell me more about the properties? And then I know you mentioned beforehand that token holders are going to get discounts, right? Or, sorry, NFT holders. Don't mean to keep using the term token. Is it going to be a flat rate at every property? I know you said some people got to stay at the properties for free. Is there something that distinguishes different users or people who are eligible for that? Is it case by case? And I guess what kind of pricing are we looking at from the properties?
So we're talking to Kim. She focuses on the UI UX. We're trying to make a app, a website, like a booking system, make it very simple, very slick. Uh, but in terms of pricing, I give example, the mansion is in Asia. I can't remember the actual number anymore, but I believe it's around a month. It is after you own our NFT, you get the discount a month. It is 4,000 US dollars per month, and it's a 5 bedroom house. Each has their own toilet. It's an ensuite. There's a pool. There's a yacht in front of the house, and it's only 4,000 US dollars per month. So if you share it with the boys, is it's pretty cheap.
And you're saying that this is after the discount from the NFT?
Yeah, correct.
Gotcha. And we have our first question in the chat from Kai. He's asking if you'll be able to show the properties before people buy the NFTs.
Yeah. It's in the white paper. I can share my screen now if you guys want to see it. I'm not too sure if you boys seen it. I think you guys have seen it, like the team, the Metaverse HQ team.
I am not sure. Jacob, any or Jacob or Poop, I guess. Have you guys seen the properties?
It's probably in our group chat.
So this is the mansion. Can you see my screen? Is it still loading?
Oh, there we go. Yep, I can see it.
All right. So yeah, the yacht and so forth. So this is the property we own, and yeah, it's 4,000 US dollar per month. Uh, after discount, 5 bedroom ensuite. I was originally trying to get DXN to move their HQ to this mansion, but they just told me like um they 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 try and cut costs, and the entire team are spread around everywhere. They're no longer staying in Bali anymore. Like so so yeah. This is the apartments and so forth. And this is what it looks like. And the office spaces. All these are 3D renders, and this is the team. So before you mint, you can do as a DJ, and you can do your proper due diligence to see whether you want to mint. And yeah.
Wow, they're beautiful properties, and definitely appreciate the docs. Can you explain to me if you guys have 3,333 of these, what allows people like what are the limits on the leases, right? If I'm there and I rent this mansion in Asia with my friends, and I want to stay there forever, that's obviously taking up one of 24 properties. Do you guys have a system in place to evenly distribute this amongst the NFT holders?
So I'll be honest with you. I can guarantee you this already. There's gonna be whale holders in BlockFu, like Web2 millionaires, billionaires. Actually, 2 billionaires that I know they're minting my project. So it won't be 100% unique ownership. It will probably be quite low. I'll be honest with you. Um, in terms of this issue, we're talks with 3 to 4 hotel chains. Uh, names that if you see my Twitter, you probably can see I've kind of like did some sneak peek in terms of who I'm talking to, the hotel chains. If one of them says yes, we have 250 hotels around the world.
I guess I'm a little confused by that answer. So, like, if I'm someone who's buying the projects because I want to rent out one of these nice properties at a discount, there's only 24 properties to 3,000 tokens. So, how, like, I see what you're saying about whale holders. There's going to be people who are holding multiple. Um, how would you ensure that people who want to go to the property are able to book it for some period of time? You're just saying that they'll be reverted to a hotel instead?
No, so essentially, again, the booking system is you can stay there 1 day, 1 month, 12 months, how long you want. It's like Airbnb, the system. You can just book how long you want to stay. In terms of how to get every holders, or you're correct. Like if there's 21 properties, if 21 people just book fully out all the properties, there's no more left for holders to use. But the thing is, we have other utilities. We got the launch pad, the education, and so forth for other people use. I would say the launch pad is even more valuable than the properties itself. To be honest, based on what I'm hearing from builders around the Web3 space and Web2, they don't really care about properties. It's just good to have, but the launch pad, I would say, is uh, much more intriguing. Like I said, my friend is making a lot of money now from his law practice for Web3 now. So I would say the real value comes from the launchpad. But that is an issue I am trying to face, trying to solve the 21 properties. So that's why we're talking to some hotel chains, trying to get 350 properties around the world.
Gotcha, gotcha. And I know earlier you mentioned that there's going to be a lot of these big whales buying multiple tokens. Is there, I know you said there's like a separate tier for whale holders. Could you clarify what constitutes a whale holder and then why they would be trying to achieve that status? So, what is the benefit of becoming a whale?
I wouldn't want to give the number now, but I'll just say anyways. I would say what constitute a whale holder is 10 NFT. It might be even different on mid days. Maybe someone mid 50, then I'll be in trouble. Then whale holder could be 25. So we're playing by ear, but right now we'll give it a number 10 to be considered as a whale holder. Um, what is what is the reason to be a whale holder? Is I think the primary is attention, where you have our attention, that you actually truly want to be a supporter of BlockFu. And I would say if you have our attention, that is worth it because um, if you need funding or so forth, and you have our attention, we can see you on our Discord at the top as a whale holder. Then you can just book in a call with me and just say, hey, I need to raise 200K because of this, that, this, that. Do you have anyone that you can connect me with? Yes or no? I'll tell you straight up, yes or no. I think the primary reason is whale holder is the attention you get from the team.
Gotcha. No, appreciate it. We have another question from Kai in chat here. He said, for transparency's purpose, how do you plan to afford lending so much property with a simple mint of 3,033 times zero point zero 0.05 ETH, and saying he doesn't really see the benefits that your brand would get with this as a service. So I guess just doing
Fi-
the math. Oh, go ahead.
Financially speaking, it's a waste of time for me to do NFT projects. I'll be honest. I could be making a lot more because I'm full time into this now, into BlockFu. Prior to that, I was making good money, real good money in my Web2 background. I had to quit all of those because the VC told me if you want my 4.2 million assets, you have to quit your full time job to do it. So I did it. Pause my marriage and so forth for this. Taking big risks, but I like Web3 because you can network with people every single day. Um, in terms of financially speaking, it's not worth it. We're only making at best 250,000 on midday itself. I might as well just rent out the properties full price. Don't waste money on marketing because we have spent around $40,000 on marketing alone. Um, so financially speaking, it's not really a point for us to do an NFT project, but we believe this can be something like I would say the NFT, the Web3 ecosystem. It can be something in 5 years' time. So we want to take the lot. We want to dive in now and make the loss now, and hopefully in 5 years' time, this BlockFu can be a big brand. It's not just real estate, but a hub for builders to essentially stay in.
Gotcha. I mean, I guess to sort of elaborate on your point, why wouldn't you just rent out the properties? I mean, I know you said there was the stipulation that the guy said he wanted to do at Web3, but if you're giving these rentals at a 40% discount, you're only making $250,000 off the launch. You're stepping away from a lot of money and you could make more doing it traditionally. Why is the leasing of these properties the focal point of your brand as opposed to just saying, hey, we're an angel investing NFT project and we're trying to build a brand where we're connecting people looking to start businesses with angel investors?
Because I think the biggest complaint about most projects, as a DJ myself, I'm like, what am I buying into? I'm just buying a freaking picture. Like, there's no actual hard asset backed. Where ours, from the very beginning, before mid, we already have 4 million worth of assets. So I just want to emphasize that. But at the end, there you're correct. For BlockFu, we are just trying to connect Web2 and Web3 builders and companies together.
Gotcha. So you think the people who would mainly benefit from this token aren't necessarily people looking to lease the properties, but more so people who have their own business ideas. They don't know how to get funding through banks, they don't know the process, and you want to connect them to your team who can help them make those connections.
Correct. Like again, our min price is only 85 US dollars. If let's say you're a person that have tax issues, legal issues, like I'm talking about like like your lifestyle wise, 85 US dollar to solve your problems is not that expensive. It's yeah, it's pretty cheap. I think that's why I got whale holders already gave me $40,000 to mint on behalf of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that just kind of brings into question, like, it almost sounds too good to be true, right? Like, how can you provide people with such expensive services like legal teams and connections to angel investors where, these are going to be people who are multimillionaires and billionaires? How can you afford to do all this for pretty much nothing in terms of, raising money via the NFT launch?
There's no cost for us. There's no cost for us. It's just connecting people that I know, and also from my Singapore advisors, the VC team. There's no cost for us.
When you're talking about, like, your background and you stepping away from the money and the time, are you guys just hoping that by doing this you'll find innovative ideas that you can invest early in, similar to like a Shark Tank scenario, or you'll find it, or do you just purely enjoy networking and building connections?
Okay, for me, it's purely the enjoyment part. For my VC team, and it is for example, I'll give you example. My VCs, their minimum investments size is quarter million. That's the minimum investment. But in Web3, they realized that the minimum investment could be only $10,000 or like $20,000. So they realize that. That's why they want to enter in this space now, as ticket size is a lot lower.
Gotcha. So it really is the networking thing that's sort of the center point of the project, of connecting these VC funds or angel investors, whatever you want to call them, to participants in the Web3 space who are going to hear about you guys and say, I have an idea, I have a problem, I want to be able to connect with the people that they know, so I'm going to buy this NFT in order to build these connections.
Right. Like at the end of the day, you can just sell it after that too. Like the NFT, once you're done with it, you can just sell it.
Gotcha. I think that's honestly it, because without a white paper, I feel like we've touched on the core parts, the angel investing, as well as the properties. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or showcase about Royal Block Fu?
Like at the end of the day, like when you see what Royal BlockFu is, even before mint, we like I'm talking about actual numbers. We have given out 12,000 US dollar. Again, this is not whitelist. This is pure cash worth of in real life value to communities, not even from my communities. We have hosted 4 events, 2 massive events. Around 150 people came in each event. And the 2 other events, it was a super private event. Only 10 people could come, and that was where the real business deal was formed. And after mint, once we get holders, it's a lot easier to kick out non-holders and only just give the value to our holders, in terms of hosting events, connecting, and using our real estate. So I think that's the issue right now. We don't want to give all our values to non-holders. So we just want to focus on giving value and holders. So after midday, it's quite smooth sailing from there.
Gotcha. I mean, what's sort of your roadmap to keeping the project alive, right? Because I think going back to the point where I guess it's just not fully clicking with me how you guys are affording to do all of this, like throwing events. I can understand if you own the properties that, you could still be making a profit for people. And I see you're saying like you can rent them out traditionally, you can get a discount using the NFT. But if you're only making $250,000 and you have this large amount of staff and people that you're going to be connecting, how do you keep Royal BlockFu going for years to come? Like, when if you said there's no royalties for the NFT, or it's, let's just say, a minimal NFT royalty, so like 2.5 or 5% or something, how are you guys going to be sustaining this brand a year from now?
So right now, speaking financially, we have a cash runway of, I would say, 9 months prior to mint. Prior to mint. So after mint out, we would have a cash runway of, I would say, uh, if we fully minted out, all things went smoothly, we have a cash runway of, I would say, 14 months. But like so 9 plus 14. So we already thought about that, and then after that, after the 14 9 months runs out, we'll just go through our traditional partners by then and ask them, hey, we are looking for more funding. Do you want to help us out? Yes or no? But also, don't forget that we have our launch pad to make our income when we invest in our holders' business ideas, and whatever equity revenue we receive will just be reinvested in Royal BlockFu, and also the rental income. So our cash runway should be much higher than that.
Gotcha. So then the income stream really comes from the incubator aspect where you're banking on having these ideas from your holders.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. Are there certain types of people that you think should be interested in your project above other people, I guess? Because, I mean, from my perspective, right, if I'm just an ordinary person who doesn't live in a place where these properties are at and I don't really have any business ideas, would there be a reason for me to invest in Royal BlockFu?
Yeah, I would say on midday is the best ROI because you could potentially win that 15K prize pool. So so yeah, so I think I would say that is like short term wise, super short term on midday, giving the 15K prize pool, you could potentially win um the prize pool. Like first place, let me look at the prize pool. First place is 8 grand. Second place is 2.5K. Third place will get 1 grand, and from fourth to 10th place will get $500 each. So
Have you talked to your legal team about that? Because that's technically a lottery.
yeah, so I've spoken to my legal team about it. There's no issue about it.
And
Hello?
what I guess country are you basing your business out of?
Singapore?
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Now just looking out because I know I've looked into like legality of running giveaways and stuff with NFT purchases. If it's US based, that would be another question.
Yeah, bro. You guys are very slow, man. You guys only recently legalized sports betting. That's insane, man. Australia had it like, I don't know, 15 years ago.
Yeah, we're definitely slow with that. You'd think, Uncle Sam would just want all of the money it could get, but very cool. Okay. Well, I think I've asked all the questions I've wanted on my end, and I appreciate you bearing with me. I know I've been throwing all the curveballs and all the punches that I could think of, so definitely appreciate you sticking with us. I would like to turn it back over to the audience if possible. Do you have any questions for Ken? Please throw them in guest questions or office hours chat. Other than that, Ken, any closing remarks or comments that you'd like to make about the project, Royal BlockFu, things you're looking forward to, or questions for us?
Nah, I mean, basically we're just minting 21st uh February, 8 p.m. Singapore time, and that's it. Good luck, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. And I see Kai is typing out some final remarks in office hours. Um, he was saying, throwing it out there, if I buy a BlockFu, will I get help opening a cafe in Tokyo? Kai told me this is a dream of
Oh,
his, but he says he does not have the funds.
bro, I'm going to Tokyo in October to meet a gaming company, so why not? Dude, because the cost of a cafe, I know for a fact in Tokyo, the 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 square footage is so small, so you can control the cafe so easily. We in not BlockFood, but in my VC team, we have invested in a restaurant before, and it's a big restaurant. We need so many employees, so many costs. In Tokyo, since the foot traffic is so high, opening a cafe is a no-brainer because it's a lot smaller and cost is a lot lower. Except rent. Rent is expensive. So yeah, bro. Let me add you as a friend and we can chat offline.
Wow, dope. right there. First connection made. Kai says facts. I guess in terms of these partnerships that you're making, and when you're talking about the cash structure, is there just going to be a large overhead on profit share in the future? Like, is that something you guys have already thought of, or do you know sort of what those terms of agreement would be, or is everything just a case by case basis?
So again, I understand that everyone in this space so far unfortunately just wants money. So we were trying to do very hard to give the immediate money out there. So we've hosted events, prize pool, and so forth. So the profit sharing is a no-brainer also.
Gotcha. I'm more so thinking like from protecting your own self with, like these are going to be people on Web3 and you say you have these interview process. Um, how do you ensure that the people you're going to be investing in are actually going to generate revenue, are going to follow through on executing their business ideas? What's sort of going to be your role once you started it, right? So for the Tokyo Cafe example, let's say you partner with Kai, are you going to be taking half of the profits that the cafe would make? Are you gonna be coming up with an entire business plan and saying, okay, like obviously a business isn't gonna be profitable immediately. Are you guys gonna cover the entire thing? Like, have you thought about, I guess, use cases or an example of a project that you might be funding?
So, for example, let's say the cafe scenario for Kai. Since Kai is based in Tokyo, he would know the landscape better. He knows what the real Tokyo Japanese people would want. So we'll give him whatever he needs to basically fulfill his job, to fulfill his dream. In terms of who monitors it, is our VC external team will monitor it. I won't monitor it because I have too much on my plate.
But in
And
Go
the
ahead.
structure could be it varies. It could be might not even be a cash problem. Let's say maybe Kai has money. It's just that he just needs connection. Uh, uh, s- or he needs money for his case. I don't have funds. So what if the business goes bankrupt? Just like every other VC case, if bankrupt, too bad. Is bad. It ruins your reputation, and we just lose money. Simple as that. That's how VC works. We're not gonna waste money on suing you because it's a waste of time. You have no money to sue, and it takes 6 to 12 months to win the legal battle.
Gotcha. Okay. No, greatly appreciate it. And I guess based off that, do you have any preferences or ideas that you've talked about amongst the team? Like, would the idea be to, I guess, have preference to Web3 projects just because of the low overhead involved, and sort of that instant cash flow from minting a project?
Um, no preference. We just open to invest in Web 2 and Web 3.
Wow. Okay, so you guys are really just out here building connections. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, you gotta be have open ears, man. Like,
Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely. All right. Well, greatly appreciate your time, Ken. Thanks for chatting with MVHQ. Do you want to drop in the chat here in office hours your Discord so our members can come over and join?
I'm opening a Discord next week, so just stay tuned for that. I don't have the perms for it.
No worries. All right. Well, thank you again, Ken. Hope you have a great rest of your night or day, depending on where you are in the world. I know you're in Singapore. I'm not sure what time it is there. But yeah, thank you so much for talking to our members and really appreciate it.
Cheers, guys. Bye.